Indian PEs who do not have plants in United States. So what do I think is that it is very strong pair at a very reasonable valuations. And so what do I think is yes, one can hold if they have any, and one can accumulate as well at this current price.
Okay, understood. And Sundar, I'd like to know your technical view on Samvardhana Motherson as well. How do you see the charts of this particular stock, and do you think it would be a prudent decision to add more shares of this company? Because, you know, right now Dinesh also mentioned the fact that Samvardhana Motherson as a company, as an auto company, has its presence in America, and therefore on a relative basis, it might be less insulated, more insulated from Trump's tariffs and the implications of it. Therefore, going forward, do you think technically as well, it would be the right choice of auto stock to be invested in?
So if I talk about Sambandhana, so that stock has actually corrected from 215 levels and it is currently trading at 130. So around 46% correction it has done. Now talking about the current price behavior over here of this stock. So I have seen that the stock has actually gaining some momentum over here. And if we talk about some moving averages over here, so the midterm moving average, the stock is trading above it. And apart from this, the technical indicator, that is MACD and RSI, they both are on a positive zone. So I would suggest to hold this stock for a target of say around 160 as of now.
All right, thanks for that view, Sundar. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Hyderabad. Hi, Shrikant. Good evening.
Hi, madam. Good evening.
Yes, how can we help you, Shrikant, on the show today?
Fundamentally, the strong stocks, madam. Long term is large cap stocks, 10 years recommendations, madam. 4-5 stocks, madam. 10 years SIP type is
all right,
madam.
All right, understood your query. Dinesh, I'd come to you. Our caller Shrikant is looking for recommendations in the large cap space. He's looking for a time horizon of 10 years. So do you have any strong 5 picks there?
Not specifically 5, but the companies in which I believe is recently there is a company called DLF, right? So they have met the analyst. So they have given a very strong guidance for next 5 years by 2030. So they are aiming for 2x of PAT and by 2030, and cash flows is very strong. And of course, they are also focusing for net debt, zero net debt by next 5 years. Apart from that, if I talk about the dividend payout, they are aiming for 50% of the PAT, which is a very strong number. And of course, this outlook is very strong. So DLF is one of the good stocks, and Amber Enterprises is one of the good companies. I think at this moment, the valuations might be high, but of course, one can accumulate very little by little. Why? Because they have very strong and diversified portfolio as of now. And if I talk about, there will be expansion, right? So on Q4 of FY26, their new capacity will be coming up. Plus, their railway subsystems and defense division is also there. So this Amber Enterprises is also one of the good plays. And we should not forget Reliance Industries. Why? Because one thing is to know that the demerger of the telecom and the FMCG business or consumer business, you can say. So if this if it is taking place for the next 5 to 10 years, so investors will be very better placed to hold the Reliance. These three, as now, I have stocks recommendations next 5 to 10 years.
Thank you so much, Dinesh, for that golden pool of stocks that you recommended in the large cap space. And Sundar, since the question was for long term, but still I'd like to know your top picks from the technical front.
Yeah, so I have 2 counters as of now. First one is the Avenue Supermart, DMart popularly known as. So if I refer to weekly time frame, the stock is currently going into a good consumption zone, and if the stock actually break out above its 200-day moving average, I mean, if we see the stock is actually giving a good sign of early accumulation. So a breakout above 4,300 would ignite the stock. And apart from this, if I talk about technical indicators, RSI is comparatively overbought as of now, but that is not an issue because if we talk about trending stock, then yes, RSI that does not matter as of now. Talking about MACD, so yes, MACD is also in positive. So I would say that demand is a stock which I am looking out for. So a breakout above 4,300 could ignite the stock till 5,200 levels.
Okay, so we have DLF, we have Amber Enterprises, then we have DMart. So a couple of stocks to look forward to in the large cap space that could potentially give you good returns. And now let's take up another WhatsApp query. Jagdish has written to us from Saudi Arabia, and he has not mentioned the number of stocks that he holds, but he has definitely told us that he is at a loss of 25% by investing in Hero MotoCorp. He's asking if this is a good stock to hold on to, or should he exit at this given point of time? Now, of course, while I do not have further details of this query, I did see that the stock has seen cuts of close to 30% or even more in the past 6 months itself. But Hero MotoCorp, largely being a two-wheeler company that manufactures a lot of two-wheelers. Dinesh, I'd like to get your sense over here. It has healthy dividend payouts. It is a two-wheeler, primarily a two-wheeler based motor company. Why is this not performing? Why are we seeing the cuts that the company has seen on the stock exchanges? And would it be a good idea for Jagdish to stay invested in this, especially given the fact that rural consumption has been a big theme, and some auto companies have been beneficiaries of that?
So, a couple of things I would like to highlight is that recently, what I understood, there was a top level exits from management, which is one of the concerns which has happened. Plus, if you'll see, last couple of years, Corp has reduced its market share. I think they were holding 13% last couple of years. Now it's as of January 2025, it's hardly to 26 or 27 odd levels. So these guys are losing market share strongly. I believe is that because competition is very strong, the players like Ola and Hero MotoCorp is very facing competition from these guys because want something new. And I think Hero MotoCorp, in terms of this vehicle, scooter, I can say, they are lagging behind. So because of that, I think we need to work on that. Firstly, so what I think is that one should hold as of now until and unless there are a couple of quarters which we see a good growth. Uh, Valuation wise, it is kind of not attractive, but we have to take a call based on how the quarter four or a quarter of the next year would be. Based on that, one can start accumulating, not as of now, but after quarter four.
Understood. Thanks for that view. Now let's go across to a caller joining us from Patna. Hi, Nilay. Good evening.
I'd like to have a view about GE Vernova T&D.
Okay.
I'm a daily trader on this share, and it's highly volatile. On
Yes.
a daily basis, it goes into the red and then again it goes into the green.
Yes.
On a daily basis, and I've been earning on a daily basis on this share.
Okay.
So whether is it practical to go in for a larger amount in this share?
All right. And since you are looking for a very short-term view on it, Sundar,
Yeah.
I'd directly come to you. Currently, it's trading at 1,559 and was down in trade today over 2%. And, since the first week of March is what I can see on the charts, that it has seen a slight recovery there. So what suggestion do you have for Nilay?
See, as of now, the stock trend is negative due to its averages, and currently, if I see, so I would like to suggest a stop loss at around 1280 on daily close basis because this stock is a highly volatile stock, and apart from this, the indicators are also not that much aggressive to go long as of now. So I would say that you should place a stop loss at around 1290.
Okay, and now let's go across to another WhatsApp query. Shekhar has written to us and he holds 1,000 shares of SJVN at 122 rupees a piece. He is asking whether he can hold on to SJVN or not. Dinesh, why don't you take this one as well? What is your view on SJVN? The stock was closely flat and is now trading around 91 rupees a piece. Tell us your view.
So currently I'm not uh, covering this stock as of now, so it would be better that technicals would be a good view for that. So based on what I don't understand the company, so I won't be able to give my view.
Oh, sure. So, Sundar, we'll get your technical view on SJVN, and as by the look of it itself, I see that Shekhar bought these stocks at 122 rupees a piece and is facing a large decline. Now the stock is now trading around 90 odd levels. That's a steep decline that the stock has seen. Do you see recovery anytime soon, or and also suggest the support level for this particular stock, please?
The viewers actually bought this stock on its important resistance of 122 and currently is in a loss. So I would say that every rise is an exit for this stock because I don't see any major turnaround here. Currently, the support for this stock is at 87 or 80, 86 as of now, 87 to 80, 87 to 86 zone. So this is an important support to watch out. If on daily close basis, the stock has given a close below to 86 level, then yes, it is better to exit the stock. So as of now, the trend remains negative for this stock.
All right, that's a negative on SJVN for short term. Now, with that, we are joined by a caller from Mumbai. Hi, Srinivas. Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
How can we help you, Srinivas?
Midcap stocks, 10 years to holding, madam. Long term.
You need recommendation in the mid-cap space for long term. Am I correct?
Yes, madam. Yes,
Okay.
yes, madam.
Okay.
Long term. Sector-wise, the 4 stocks recognition, madam. Please and request.
All right. And have you narrowed down any space?
Recycling,
Okay.
IT,
Okay.
pharma.
All right. All right. Dinesh, I'd come straight to you. Do you have any picks there in the mid-cap space? Because that's what Srinivas is asking.
Randomly, I have one stock not related to any industries which is mentioned as of now. So apart from that, Finolex Cables is one of the good plays. I know there are some competition. Many big players like Adani and Ultra Tech has recently entered in the space. But what do I know is it will take time for these guys to set up their business. But as of now, I don't see any problem in accumulating the stock. So one can accumulate it as of now for uh, at least for 3 to 5 years for now, because what do I understand is they are the market leaders and they have very strong distribution network. So based on my understanding and valuation front, yes, one can accumulate this stock as of now and hold for at least 3 to 5 years.
Okay, so Finolex Cable is your choice. Let's go across to another caller. Supreet is calling us from Bengaluru. Hi, Supreet. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Motilal Oswal shares 1,500 quantity, average 670. February month by ma'am, 9 month short term, ma'am. Profit loss, ma'am. Seller extra share by ma'am.
Okay, understood. So I'll just summarize Supreet's view. He holds 1,500 shares of Motilal Oswal Financial Services at 670 rupees a piece. That is his average price, and he bought them around February. He is seeking a short-term advice with regards to these stocks that he holds, and therefore I'd come to you on this one, Sundar. What do you think about Motilal Oswal? What should our viewer do with 1,500 shares, especially the time that he bought them at? Was exactly the juncture at which Motilal Oswal saw a steep correction. Do you think it will be able to recover anytime soon? And if our viewer wants to add more units of the shares, where would you suggest a stop loss?
Yeah, so the stock has corrected from 1,000 odd levels, and currently I can say near to 45% the stock has corrected. Now, from past few days, the stock is actually not dropping too much. I mean, it is into a consolidation stage, and it is creating a good narrow range. So a breakout above 690 could ignite this move, but not at current price. So if the viewer wants to add the stock, then yes, above 690 he can add. But if vice versa, if the stock goes below say 555, then yes, it's better to exit, because then further the stock can show some downside. So the trend, so there may be a continuation in the fall. So I would suggest a stop loss at around 555 for the stock on daily close basis.
All right. Thanks for that view, Sundar. Now, a caller is joining us from Tamil Nadu. Hi, Edward. Good evening. Edward, am I audible? No. Okay, I think we've lost the line there, but we have Edward's query with us. He has 1,000 shares of JK Tires at 310 apiece, and he's looking for a short-term outlook on it. So currently the stock is trading at 277, which is near its one-year lows, and was down in trade today over 2% as well. And if I look at the chart, so since December, the stock is in a downward trend, and he is sitting on a loss of almost 33,000 there. So Sundar, coming to you, what's your outlook on JK Tires?
You said the stock is falling from December month itself, and currently if I see the stock action from past few days, the stock has picked up some momentum, but the stock is not showing that major changes in the trend. So I wouldn't go aggressively long on the stock. So I would suggest that the viewer should place a stop loss at 245. And there is only one positive point about the stop loss is about this stock, is that the stock is actually trading above its short-term moving averages. That's it. Otherwise, the stock doesn't look good on charts.
Okay, understood. And on that note, viewers, we will have to take a short break, but keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp as well as call in on the numbers available. And we will be right back for Ask Profit. Do stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
He sold most of his stock, 80%, as on that date.
We have requested the management to come and speak to us. They asked us, what questions will you ask? We've sent it to them. They don't want to answer it, so then let's put it to our viewers as well.
7 key questions, right? How is it that 2,000 crore goes unnoticed by all of these auditors?
Is seeking more information on the trades and the all the transaction which has happened from the exchanges, both NSE and BSE.
The Reserve Bank of India's supervisory officers, they are seeking compliance reports on their foreign currency borrowings by these banks.
The DSS is actively engaging with the Reserve Bank of India to sort of ensure the thorough examination of the matter. And
IndusInd Bank, as part of its internal review, had found that certain aspects of its derivatives portfolio was not meeting the standard that was set by the Reserve Bank of India.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations?
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Himakshi Bahugna. Along with me is my co-host Malika Mishra, and together we'll be taking up all your stock-related queries. And today on the show, we are joined by Dinesh Sane on the fundamentals and Sundar Kevat on the technicals. So they will be answering all your fundamental and technical queries. So viewers, the numbers are flashing on your screens. What are you waiting for? Just pick up your phones and call us right away with your queries. And with that, let's go across to a caller joining us from Ahmedabad. Hi Devesh, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, how can we help you on the show today?
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead with your query, Devesh.
Yeah, my query is regarding Rajesh Exports Limited.
Okay.
Why the stock is not performing, although it is having very good balance sheet, good promoters holding, and decent past. What is the problem it is having? Is there any governance problem, or is it going to be another Gitanjali Gems?
Yes, and also Devesh, I'd like to cross-check once again, how many shares are you holding? 100?
I am having 100 shares.
At 183, if I'm not wrong?
Yeah, 183.
All right, all right. Okay, so you're looking for a long-term view, am I correct?
Yeah, long term.
Okay, so since 17th March, if I can see on the charts, the stock has witnessed a slight recovery and positive momentum. But talking about the long-term performance and high valuation metrics, Dinesh, what suggestions do you have on the counter?
So everything boils down to profit, right, in fundamentals. So what do I see is Rajesh Exports, uh, this is very inconsistent in terms of top line growth or margin growth or bottom line, right? So these guys are also posting losses as well in a year to year, right? Plus margins are very, very thin, right? Because the nature of the business, of course, it's related to a goal and etc. So overall, what do I understand is until and unless there is a consistency in earnings, right? So hence, overall, we give a higher multiples. So if the investor is not seeing growth over the next coming years, or they are seeing very much volatility, right? So what do I understand is they will not give the higher valuations or the multiples, you can say. So for me, everything boils down to earnings per share, and I do not see it. So I would not provide it a higher multiple. So if one is holding, I would suggest to sell it, and because there are so many other companies in this industry or different industry, they can create the wealth from that.
Okay, okay, got it. And now let's talk to M. Das Gupta. He's calling us from New Delhi. Hi, Mr. Gupta.
Hello, Jai Hind, madam. I hold shares of BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange.
Okay.
56 shares. Average price of 588.
Okay, okay.
So my view is of long term, 2 years plus. So what is the long term view of this stock, and what is the correct re-entry point again?
Understood,
and
understood.
I would like to thank NDTV Profit for such good program which gives good insights into the various stocks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so unfortunately, M. Das Gupta's line was a little disturbed, but what he said was, firstly, he complimented the show. So great, and kudos to NDTV Profit. I'm very, very happy when compliments come in our ways, viewers. It means a lot to us. And his query basically is on BSE. He currently holds 56 shares of BSE at 588 rupees a piece. And he is sitting on a profit, massive profit of over 2.5 lakh rupees, because the stock is now trading around 5,479. That's a massive percentage of jump that M. Das Gupta has seen with regards to these shares. Now he's asking for a long-term view on this one, whether or not he can hold on to these shares, should he book his profits. Just a couple of factors about BSE. This was the stock of the day as it surged over 16% in trade today. This comes after NSE deferred its implementation of Monday expiries until further notice. And Jeffries also, by the way, came up with a note, and we reported about it, and it said this is going to abate concerns regarding BSE's potential loss of market share and also the impact that it could have had on the earnings per share. But anyway, Dinesh, I'd like to know your view on M. Das Gupta's investment in BSE. What should he do? Should he book partial profits, or should he remain patient, and is there more scope for making even more profits?
Yeah, so firstly, I would like to compliment M. Das Gupta for holding for such long time, despite the volatility we saw last week or last couple of 10 days because of regulatory concerns and etc. So, of course, as you rightly mentioned, that because of the circular from NSE, there is a big boost for NSE. And yes, you're also correct that we are seeing some earnings growth because of this development from NSE side. So definitely one can hold BSE. So M. Das Gupta is currently sitting at a very good profits. So I think he can further ride their profits as of now. So until and unless we are not seeing quarter four and quarter one growth in the numbers, it is good to hold as of now. Yes.
Okay, understood. And Sundar, I'd like to get your technical view on this one as well, especially because, in the past, couple of months, say since September of 2024, the markets have seen a consistent downturn. But BSE, being a stock, has acted otherwise, and in fact, it has shown healthier gains than most of the counters in the stock market. What would your technical analysis of BSE say? And do you reckon Dinesh's view and suggest our viewer to book partial profits at the moment? Sundar, you're on mute.
And now I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So from September month itself, the stock has picked up a good momentum. And currently, I mean, if from the past few days, the stock has gained more traction because of its strong support at 200 DMA. And one more positiveness about the stock is that the stock is trading above its short-term, mid-term, and long-term moving averages, which actually ignites the stock. So I would recommend this stock to be at hold, and if I draw Fibonacci extension to this, so the first target will be at 6,800 and the second target will be at 7,600. So this is a good hold for me as of now.
Thanks for that view, Sundar, on BSE. With that, let's go across to caller joining us from Mumbai. Hi, Mahesh. Good evening.
Yes, hi. Good evening.
Yes, how can we help you on the show?
I would like a fundamental and technical view on Swaraj Engines Limited.
Okay.
I don't currently hold this stock, but I'm observing this since last month. It has jumped almost 50%.
Yes.
It's a small cap stock.
Yeah.
But I would like to know fundamental and technical view if I need to consider it buying in the near future.
Understood. So, currently Swaraj Engines is trading at 3,899, which is near its one-year highs. And over the past week, Swaraj Engine has surged over 15%, and that demonstrates robust momentum. So, Dinesh, what's your analysis on Swaraj Engines, considering the stock is experiencing strong stock performance driven by solid financial results and market confidence there?
See, let me be very clear that I do not know the business, but based only on the numbers which I see in terms of profit and loss, debt to equity, in terms of earnings yield, right? So I do like the company. So based solely on the numbers which I see for the company, one can hold the stock, and for the quarter-on-quarter basis, they can keep a track if they are growing in terms of margins, their earnings, and if their debt to equity remains at these levels, then definitely one can hold the stock.
All right. Thanks for that view, Dinesh. And Sundar, I'd come to you also. What are the charts suggesting? Because and also it's currently trading at 3,899. So are these the correct levels to enter if anybody wishes to enter?
If I want to narrate the stock has actually been in sideways range from 27 August, and the stock has given a breakout on 19 March and with significant volume. So this kind of volume is actually a positive sign for the stock, and I would recommend the viewer to hold this stock. And if the viewer wants to place a stop loss, then yes, the stop loss should be at around 3,460 on closing basis. And one positive thing is that all the momentum indicators are showing positive. MACD, RSI, they all are on positive. And so I would recommend the stock to be on a hold as of now.
Sundar, actually, Mahesh is not holding the stock, but he's looking at the stock performance. So that is why I'm asking that, are these the correct levels to enter if somebody is wishing to buy this particular counter?
Okay, so no, this is not the current level to enter, but yes, he can enter at a dip at around 3,460 and 3,500 levels.
Okay, understood.
Okay, and now let's talk to another caller. Nara is calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, Nara. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, madam.
Good evening. What's your stock query today about?
Yeah, so I'm currently holding 60 quantity of Tata Elxsi.
Okay.
At the price of 6,120 average price.
Okay.
I have been accumulating from past 1.5 years. And, at this point of time, I would like to add some more, like another 40. And I want to keep it for the next 8 to 10 quarters.
8 to
10 quarters.
8 to 10 quarters.
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
So, it is the right time to add.
Okay. And again, could I Could I please know again for how many years have you been holding on to this share?
From the past 1.5 years.
1.5 years. Okay, understood, Nara. Dinesh, I'd like to know your view on Tata Elxsi. Nara holds 60 shares at 6,120 rupees a piece. The stock is now trading around 5,200 levels. It has seen cuts of close to 33% in the last 1 year. Plus, also holds a negative CAGR growth for its stock price specifically in the last 1 year as well as on a 3-year basis. What would your suggestion to our viewer be, because he is intending to buy at least 40 more shares and hold these 100 shares collectively for the next 8 to 10 quarters, and therefore in that period fundamentally would you suggest suggest Nara to take this action with regards to Tata Elxsi?
All right. So the thing is, I do see challenges in overall IT sector. Specifically, if I talk about Tata Elxsi, they are also facing a brunt because overall their revenue comes from the Europe, US, etc. And because of overall global economic scenario which we are seeing, their clients might not be executing. So they might be sitting at a good order book, but as of now, their clients might be sitting at the sidelines for their execution. So what do I see is there could be some 2 to 3 quarters of challenge as per me in terms of Tata Elxsi. Now, if he wants to continue to hold, he can continue to hold for at least for 2 to 3 quarters until and unless management do not see any upward trajectory for the business. However, if I say that if he's open to sell it, then definitely he can see the different counters as well for medium to long term. But yes, definitely, as I mentioned, challenges persist for the company.
All right, challenges persist for the company is what Dinesh is saying. With that, a caller is joining us from Parbani. Akash is calling us. Hi, Akash. Good evening.
Good evening. My question is, I am holding Fed Bank Financial Services, 1,000 quantity at 105 price.
Okay.
So I'm holding it for long term. So should I add more quantity or keep holding it?
And when did you buy?
I bought it in December 24.
Okay, so in just a span of 2 to 3 months, you are sitting on a loss of over 22,000 is what I can see right now. Currently, the stock is trading at 82.5 and was down in trade today over 2%. And the stock has seen a significant drop of about, over 10% over the past month and is down from its 52-week high of 133. So, Dinesh, I'll come to you. What's your view on the counter as the stock is currently, facing headwinds?
So I see challenges in front of valuation only. That's it. Because the stock, if I say in last 2 to 3 years, it has moved a lot. And based on what do I understand is price to book value is very high as of now. But on the other hand, if one wants to see different banks, especially in private sector, they can create a good wealth over the long term. So what do I suggest? If they are open, they can sell this counter and switch to the private companies, especially which are big companies like HDFC, Axis, ICICI Bank, right? So they can stick to this for a longer time so that they can create a wealth for 3 to 5 years.
Okay, so positive view on banks from you, Dinesh. And now let's go across to Satya. He's written to us from Bangalore. He holds 340 shares of ITC Hotel at 168 rupees a piece. Satya has made profits of close to 10,000 rupees from this investment. He's asking whether this is the right time to book his profits or should he hold on to these shares for some more time. Sundar, I'd like to take your view on this one at the moment, because since the time ITC Hotels came into the picture, it's not been a bad stock, and in fact, it was up in trade today as well. What would your technical suggestion to Satya be? Is this the right time to hold on to his shares or book profits?
Yeah, so if I refer daily time frame, the stock is actually facing some resistance at 2,500 levels. So, and apart from this, if I talk about today's action, so there is a kind of pattern which is formed. It's called gravestone doji. So this is a kind of, the gains which the stock has actually given from past few days, I don't think so that the stock will be able to pick up that momentum again. So I would recommend the viewer to exit the stock as of now.
Okay, okay. Thanks for that view, Sundar. Now let's go across to another query. John has written to us from Puducherry. He is saying that among the stocks, namely Anand Rathi, Nuvama and MCX, which is one of the best stock for 2 years of investment, and what is the right time to buy the same? So Dinesh, that's a very straight up query. What suggestion do you have for our viewer?
If I have only three options, then definitely I would go for Anand Rathi, because comparatively, what do I understand is they can do a better business in next 3 to 5 years. There are some challenges for MCX which we see, and there can be some headwinds, may or may not be headwinds for that company. But yes, if I have three options, definitely I would say that comparatively, Anand Rathi is a better company to invest in.
All right. And Sundar, do you also hold the same view for short term?
Yeah, Anand Rathi is actually giving us a good positive momentum over here, and also it is trading above its important resistance of 1900. So the view for short term remains positive as of now, and the target for the stock will be at around 2200 first target, and the second target will be at 2300. Whereas if the viewer wants to place a stop loss, then he can place the stop loss at around 1700.
Okay, okay, got it. So Anand Rathi being your top pick amongst the three that our viewer mentioned. And now I will take up Amol's query. Amol wrote to us from Noida. He's asking whether this is the right time to enter Zomato, especially given what happened with Nifty rejig that happened recently. Zomato has been included in the Nifty 50 basket, and definitely that means well for the company being included in Nifty 50. But Dinesh, I'd like to know your fundamental view on Zomato being a platform company and a food aggregator. What do you think? Because it comes from a very competitive space. There is high competition with regards to dark stores being added. Plus, a lot of analysts and brokerage views have time and again given mixed reviews of Zomato. And what would you fundamentally suggest Amol to do? Is this the right time to enter Zomato?
But I do like the business, I do like the management, I do like everything about Zomato. But the thing is, as you rightly mentioned, yes, competition is there and new players are also getting into this space. However, one should think that there is a huge industry and which can be catered, and it is growing on a year on year basis. So what do I understand is, if one has uh, almost more than 5 years of horizon, they can keep on holding the stock. Because see, the thing is, Zomato and Swiggy are the only listed companies which we have, and only one among them which is Zomato is profitable as of now, and it is hence we can give a proper multiple compared to the Swiggy. So Swiggy actually they have recently listed with in the NSE and BSE, right? So currently they are not profitable. So what do I understand is, if one has 5 years of view, they can definitely hold the Zomato. For now, if they want to enter new, they should watch for Q4 and Q1 numbers, especially with a good management commentary.
Okay, understood. And Sundar, I'd like to take your technical view on Zomato as well, because the company has seen cuts recently. And as Dinesh already mentioned, that it is volatile in the way it trades, although fundamentally it might be a good stock to stay invested in the long term. But say for a short-term trader or an investor, how should he tread this path?
Well, if I narrate the stock, so the stock has corrected from 300 odd levels and currently it is trading at 201. Apart from this, if I talk about some patterns over here, so there is a descending triangle pattern which is formed over here, which is a negative, which is actually a negative uh, view for the stock. And if I mean, I would say that the stock will face more selling pressure from here. And if the viewer wants to accumulate this stock, then he can accumulate at 170, but not at this level. 170 rupees level is very important, because from there Zomato has picked up and it has reached till 300. So this is an important support to watch at 170, but not at this price I would like to accumulate.
All right. Thanks for that view, Sundar Kevat. Now, a caller is joining us from New Delhi. Hi, Lakshya. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
We are very good. How can we help you on the show today?
So basically, I have been investing in KEI Industries from some time now.
All right.
I have around 200 shares at an average price of around 1600. But with the entry of Aditya Birla and Adani coming into the fray,
yes.
So I just want to understand like what are the long-term prospects and whether I should keep investing in this company.
All right. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate you, Lakshya, for spotting the correct levels. You are sitting on a very handsome profit of over 2.5 lakh rupees there. So congratulations. Now, talking about the stock, currently it's trading near its one-year lows, and the stock has fallen significantly, rightly said, from the last week of February. So Dinesh, what's your view on KEI Industries, as per the fundamental outlook on it, since it's currently facing downward pressure on the stock price? So do you see any potential recovery there for long term?
Yes, as I mentioned previously as well, that because of entrance of Adani and Ultratech, right? So these companies are facing issues. So see, it will take time for big players to get into the market and make the market, you can say. But for now, I do like the company KEI Industries, and one should hold the company for at least 1 year or 2 years, because I do know that these guys are overall management is very good on quarter-to-quarter basis. The margins are very stable, and if I talk about yearly numbers, margins are still stable. Recently, debt level is a bit high, but that is not a concern. But yes, overall, I think it is a good to hold kind of a stock, and based on 1 year or 2 years view, one can easily hold the stock.
Right, Dinesh, and just a quick follow-up question there. Since he was sitting on a handsome profit, so should he be also booking his profits? Do you also suggest that?
I would suggest to wait for Q4, and based on what management is saying, if they are seeing a very high intense competition based on the new entrants, big entrants, if the management is very cautious, then they can book the profits. But based on the profits are very high at this level. So in case if they are very conservative, they can book some 25 or 30, 1/3 of their overall holdings if they are very conservative. If not, they can easily wait for Q4 and management commentary.
Okay, and with that, Dinesh Sane and Sundar Kewat, it's a goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and answering all the queries so patiently. We will see you back again. And viewers, you stay tuned to NDTV Profit. Do call us on the numbers available to you for all your stock-related queries. We're here to give you the best advice, and it's a goodbye on the last year of FY25. So we hope that the next financial year is even better, even more profitable. But a lot more is lined up for you on the other side. So stay tuned to NDTV Profit. We will see you again.